All I can say is that you were very lucky to survive. In all my years as a doctor I have never in my life come across this before. I mean, what in the name of Walmart were you thinking? Can you please take me through exactly what happened? Start from the beginning because it makes no sense to me why you would even do such a thing. My wife Chloe is fond of saying that my last words on this earth will be something akin to hold my beer and watch this go on. Well, I have outdone myself once again. No doubt you will see this true story chronicled in a Warner movie in the near future. Here goes. Last weekend I spotted something that tickled my fancy in Larry's pistol and pawn shop. If something tickles my fancy, well, I just gotta get it. I bought something for my wife Chloe. It was for our 22nd anniversary, and it was pretty cool. Get to the point. I was looking for a little extra something for my sweet girl. 22 years we have been together. I wanted something a little special, and something that she could make use of. Really, make use of? What I came across was a 100,000-volt pocket and handbag-sized taser gun with a clip. If you are not familiar with this product, it is a less than lethal stun gun with two metal prongs designed to incapacitate an assailant with a shock of high voltage, low amperage electricity while you flee to safety. Oh dear. The effects are supposed to be short-lived, with no long-term adverse effect on your assailant, but allowing you adequate time to retreat to safety. You simply jab the prongs into your 250-pound tattooed assailant, push the button, and it will render him a slobbering, goggle-eyed, muscle-twitching, whimpering, pencil-neck geek. If you've never seen one of these things in action, then you're truly missing out. These things are way too cool and dangerous, right? Long story short, I bought the device and brought it home. I loaded 2 AAA batteries in the darn thing and pushed the button. Nothing. I was so disappointed. Upon reading the directions, although I normally don't need no stinking directions, I found much to my surprise, that this particular model would not create an arc between prongs. How disappointing. I do love fire for effect. I learned that if I pushed the button and pressed it against a metal surface, I'd get the blue arc of electricity darting back and forth between the prongs that I was so looking forward to. I did so. Awesome. Sparks, a blue arc of electricity, and a loud pop. A loud pop? Yippee, I'm easily amused, just for your information, but I have yet to explain to Chloe what that burnt spot is on the face of the microwave. You tried it on the microwave. Okay, so I was home alone with this new toy, thinking to myself that it couldn't be all that bad with only 2 AAA batteries. There I sat in my recliner, my cat Gracie looking on intently. She's a trusting little soul, reading the directions. That would be me, not Gracie, and thinking that I really needed to try this thing out on a flesh and blood target. I must admit I thought about zapping Gracie for a fraction of a second and thought better of it. She is such a sweet kitty, after all. But if I was going to give this thing to Chloe, to protect herself against a mugger, I did want some assurance that it would work as advertised. Am I wrong? Was I wrong to think that? Seemed reasonable to me at the time. Why, what happened next? So, there I sat in a pair of shorts and a tank top with my reading glasses perched delicately on the bridge of my nose, directions in one hand, taser in another. The directions said that a 1-second burst would shock and disorient your assailant. A 2-second burst was supposed to cause muscle spasms and a loss of bodily control. A 3-second burst would purportedly make your assailant flop on the ground like a fish out of water. So not long at all? Well, although while I'm looking at this little device measuring about 5 inches long, less than 3/4 of an inch in circumference, pretty cute really, and loaded with 2 itsy-bitsy AAA batteries, thinking to myself, no friggin' way. And, friggin' way, trust me, but I'm getting ahead of myself. What happened next? What happened next is almost beyond description, but I'll do my best. People who know me well have got a pretty good idea of what will have followed. I'm sitting there alone, Gracie looking on with her head cocked to one side as to say, Don't do it, buddy. Reasoning that a 1-second burst from such a tiny little old device couldn't hurt all that bad. Sound rational thinking under the circumstances, wouldn't you agree? I decided to give myself a 1-second burst just for the hell of it. Note to self, a bad decision is like hindsight, always 20/20. It is so obvious that it was a bad decision after the fact, even though it seemed so right at the time. Don't you hate that? So a 1-second burst? That's all you did? I touched the prongs to my naked thigh, pushed the button, and holy shit. Damn, I'm pretty sure that Rambo ran in through the front door, picked me up out of that recliner, then body slammed me on the carpet over and over again. I vaguely recall waking up on my side in the fetal position, nipples on fire, testicles nowhere to be found, soaking wet, with my left arm tucked under my body in the oddest position. Gracie was standing over me making meowing sounds I had never heard before, licking my face, and undoubtedly thinking to herself, "Do it again. Do it again." Take some free advice, doc. If you ever feel compelled to mug yourself with a taser, one note of caution: there is no such thing as a 1-second burst when you zap yourself. You are not going to let go of that thing until it is dislodged from your hand by some violent thrashing about on the floor. Then, if you're lucky, you won't dislodge one of the prongs a 1/4 inch deep in your thigh like yours truly. Son of a bitch, that hurt. A minute or so later, I can't be sure, as time was a relative thing at this point, I collected my wits, what little I had left, sat up and surveyed the landscape. My reading glasses were on the mantel of the fireplace. How did they get there? My triceps, right thigh and both titties were still twitching. My face felt like it had been shot up with Novocaine, as my bottom lip weighed 88 pounds, give or take an ounce or two, I'm pretty sure. Oh my. So that, doc, is what happened. If a testicle gets handed in, it's mine.